good play to get a positive result.
What areas do you think you need to try and get better?
On the final third, decision making, to be a little bit more composed and probably to choose the better options, and also try and shoot a little bit more. Because we have to play each and every game to win. I think that's our attitude at the moment. We can't really pick and select games. Each and every game that we play, we have to try and get a positive result. And this game is no different.
Do you get the same sense from your players, the hunger, the willingness to go out and get the positive result?
Yeah, I think we've prepared well. The confidence is very high in the camp at the moment, which is very good. I think I'm quite happy as well with the response that I've been getting from the players, and that gives me also a lot of confidence.
Thank you so much. Good luck today.
Thank you very much.
Last line of defense, Magula. Last season, we looked at the graphic that told the story how Richards Bay started last season. They started so well. One of the big reasons was the man between the sticks, Magula. Kept a record number of clean sheets for the football club. But like the coach then says, up front, they need to be more effective in that final third. But their big player last season was Magula. He's expected to be again Sia today.
Yeah, most certainly, and that's what helped them, because they were able to win games by just an odd goal, and those points that they gained from a very solid start by mainly their goalkeeper and the defense in front of him, because it was consistent last season, unlike this season where they've had to re-establish a new last line of defense, which has taken a bit of time for them to gel.
And staying on the defense, another player that will be, we speak about impact, and when we speak about Richards Bay, it's a David against Goliath, so they're going to have to be defending very strong. 3 games so far, started in all 3. That's Dube, comes from Kaizer Chiefs, so he would have gained a lot of experience, and he's going to need to rally his defense, because defense is about departments and togetherness. You cannot do it on your own, so he's going to really have to be the talisman and the leader in that defense.
I have this question for the both of you. You see there's Nsundwana in that team. Nsundwana, I haven't seen a coach who wants to play him up top as a 9. Everyone plays him wide, but he's no great crosser of the ball. What's his best position? Because it's always a threat, but then no end product, the both of you.
We were just discussing about Ndwana off air, is that he's a physical specimen. He's got an engine, he's mobile, he has creativity, but I think the finishing, because his finishing is lacking, I think they tend to play him a little bit wide on the left-hand side, coming inside. But I certainly think that, but we don't work with him day in, day out. But everything about him says he should be a top man and be playing on the last defender.
Most certainly, because his biggest strength is his physicality, where coaches now can rely on him to track back, can rely on him to press, to start the press up front, and also to compete generally physically. And he's not the smartest of players in terms of positioning himself in right positions, and you need that as a number 9, and he doesn't have that because he wanders around a lot.
There used to be a train in this township. It came from the very first station, Umlaza station. It would go right through into town. Bebetile sistimela email, and a runaway train. It wouldn't stop at any station until the city center. It's no longer there. Now people tell me that although the tracks have been removed, without their top marksman, Shalulile, they went to Epai, Ekabeka, against Chippa United. Yes, the other goal is an own goal, but Obrimutiba then shows that goals from Mamelodi Sundowns can come from basically everywhere. They create these spaces here, they create these opportunities.
What makes it easy for them to cut through is their positioning, and they form triangles around the ball all the time. So as the man on the ball, you have options, and then it allows for that man running, because they can just bounce it off, and then someone else is running behind you, which is evident in that particular goal.
And they've reinvented themselves, because I was chatting to the coach. He says, he looked at me, he says, "Have you figured it out yet?" I said, "I'll get back to him," because I'm trying to understand the formation that they're playing when they're in possession of the ball, and they're without possession. Yes. And it's a different Mamelodi Sundowns, but I tell you what, there's one thing in common, is 4 in 4. It's a runaway train.
Oh, it certainly is. Now Mlungis, coach of Sundowns. Coach Mlungis, appreciate your time. When you wake up or when you read and or hear this record, that record can be broken by Sundowns going to this game? Do you hear it? Do you consider it? Do you take it into account when preparing?
No, because football isn't played by records, and at Sundowns, records mean very, very little because we have to win football matches.
The preparation for this game, then, people say the league table doesn't lie, but then the football also speaks differently on the pitch, even if the team is at the bottom.
Yeah, 100%. This is a very good team with a very experienced coach who's won trophies in this league, so we've got to be very respectful. A team that's got a lot of very good players, Nsondwane, Figueiredo, Mhlongo in the midfield, Barnes on speed and counter-attacks, two very experienced centre-backs in Kineka and Dube, who's played for a big team. So good team and very experienced team, but we are also ready, even though we are in a difficult moment so early in the season with injuries, but okay, we just have to hustle on and keep going.
That hustle then sees a couple of changes. I see Lebo on the bench too.
Yeah, Lebo is just recovered also from injury, but he's made it because also we are a bit thin in that space. But yeah, he's got so much quality and he's someone that can help us at this moment.
Thank you so much. Good luck today.
Thank you so much, sir.
The starting 11 of Mamelodi Sundowns tells you then that on the bench, Thembazwane is there. But you also see now Rivaldo Kutsia gets to start. Last line of defense, yes, is Ronin Williams, and I understand, gentlemen, you've picked two key players in this game.
Yeah, I want to chat about Nku. 2 games, 2 goals, and it's been brilliant to see how she's settled in very nicely. As well as Maseko, he's now injured, but Nku has come in there. It looks like he's playing freely. And one thing that stands out for me is that they say when you play with better players, they make you a better player. And I think this is what's happening with Nku. We're now starting to illuminate his strengths because he's surrounded by so much quality.
Yeah, and Coach Rulani has spiced it up a bit by bringing in wingers that can win battles one-on-one. And Nku does that very well as Masego. But this man, he dictates the tempo there in the middle of the park. He's very combative. Everything starts from him because the flow from defense to attack. And now he also opens up gaps for others to come in and collect the ball. It's just so amazing.
Yeah, brilliant. And what we're seeing now is when Rivaldo Kutsia plays, he pushes into midfield, and who will join him is either the right back, which would possibly be Kekana, or Butuel. Now this allows Mokoena to play further up the pitch. And we're seeing a different Mokoena now, where he can dictate play when they're in possession on the edge of the box. So it's a different Mokoena, but he certainly has the different attributes to play deep and attacking.
Stanton Fredericks runs upstairs to join in commentary. Grant Bissett, the super voices of Super DSK. Esizulu, the goat farmer, good enough. Miyaga Sesotho, Kiskotolo sa Super DSK, Baba Mteto. At the Kings Oletiana Stadium, the fans are already coming through in bulk. Though, of course, you'll see the fans of Mamelodi Sundowns. There will be those also in the colors of the Natal Ridge Boys. They are the home team, facing Mamelodi Sundowns, hoping to score a goal for the first time in the league, hoping also to upset and win against Mamelodi Sundowns. But like people say, it's a runaway train. Mamelodi Sundowns, top of the log. It's the DSTV Premiership. Babiza bonke.
Of the pitch for your enjoyment. Live on Supersport on DSTV.
Emperor's Palace plays host to the most royal of evenings come 2 September. Who will step off the battlefield victorious when Tesa challenges reigning knight Quipman for the SA duel? Can Ricardo Malachika rise to the challenge to be crowned champion and exit the arena with the spoils of victory? The main attraction features Rourke defending his honour and continuing his advance to conquer the Palace. Tune in to find out who will be knighted and who will be banished on 2 September at the Palace of Dreams. Only on Supersport on DSTV, the home of boxing. Proudly brought to you by World Sports Betting.
Catch football's next generation only on Channel 216.
Listen to the heart here. It's a spine-tingling atmosphere.
The momentum. Wow. All the way to the end. Colby! What a ride. Triumphant day.
Oh, the Springboks.
Into the pit lane. back into the race. Oh, wow.
Fire up your heart with 31 days of the hottest sport on the planet. August on Supersport. On DSTV. Upgrade to premium.
Stay connected and never miss a moment of unimaginable excellence.
We all love game day. But sometimes life just doesn't play ball. There are some things you can control. With Sporting Bet, you can cash out your bets before your luck turns. Sporting Bet, the cash out kings.
We're new here and you might not know us yet, but we just wanted to say welcome. Welcome to the open road, to the rainbow, the shelter from the storm. Welcome to the place your kids will always remember, to where South Africa yawns and stretches. Welcome to an open sign at the end of the night. To a place that's always on the way to where you're going. Welcome to Astron Energy. I think we're going to be friends. Welcome to South Africa's next biggest fuel brand.
Spur don't just make steaks for people. We make steaks for the best the way it is. It's better with that and one with a bit of those. For this Trevor, and anyone who says.
Shame.
Spur don't just make wings for people. We make wings for the one-hand gripper, the double dipper, and the truth is, you're all doing it right. The OGs, real G's, and OMGs. Because we don't just make meals for people, we make meals for you. Spur, people with a taste for life.
Coach Jock?
There's an incredible new machine for you there. Make sure you get a proper session in.
Okay, James, let's go!
Hey guy, here's your new scrum machine. Sorry I'm late.
Toyota Hilux and the Springboks, what legendary toughness meets.
Well, the turnaround times might be tight, but Mamelodi Sundowns can capitalize on this stockpiling of fixtures and open up a dauntingly wide gap at the top of the DSTV Premiership standings, with ailing Richards Bay, the next side, in their crosshairs. A very warm welcome to one and all from the Kings Villatini Stadium in Umlazi. This is, albeit perhaps slightly reluctantly, still the temporary base of Richards Bay as they await a return to their traditional home, the Umhlatuzi Sports Complex. So in anticipation of an unmanageable fixture pile-up later in the season as Sundowns compete on multiple fronts, they are getting a bit of a head start, playing their 5th Premiership game today, whilst most others are still only 3 games in. A perfect 4 wins from 4 to start their season for just the 2nd time in the club's history, has them sitting pretty at the summit, presented with an opportunity to stretch their advantage to a truly intimidating 8 points. Well, so a fairly good turnout from both sets of fans on what is a rather dreary Wednesday afternoon in the Kingdom of the Zulu, as the Richards Bay side just get formalities out of the way, greeting their visitors from the capital. And we'll introduce you to the hosts here, who make just a single change from the weekend's goalless stalemate with AmaZulu. Tabani Mtembu made his full debut against Lesotho, but he does make way today to accommodate the return of Eswatini international Justice Figueiredo. He had a fairly good goal return for All Stars in the championship last season. They'll need him to open his account sooner rather than later. Only Pokanyo Komane has scored this season, and that was from the penalty spot. So here are the formations with the voice of Stanton Fredericks.
As you mentioned, Grant, Figueiredo comes in from Tembo there, shows flashes of brilliance. He's going to have to bring that goal scoring that he possesses to assist his side, but he's up the front, assisted with the likes of Barnes as well as Nsondane up front. At the back, it's Magula alongside Dube. That's going to have to keep the goals out for Richards Bay and coach Caetano Tembu.
Well, Caetano Tembo, just 1 win in 8 league games as a coach against Mamelodi Sundowns. Here the side he comes up against to also just make one change from the team that did the business against Chippe and Kabeja. Temba Zwane gets a rest, he's on the bench today. An off-season recruit, Junior Mendieta, makes a first Sundown start, having come off the bench 3 times already. He operates in attack along with Nku and Hibero, both of whom have 2 league goals apiece.
Let's see how they're going to start up here, Sundowns. Just that one change up top, Mendieta coming in for Zwane. It's normally 3 at the back for the side. Mamelodi Sundowns hit the 3-4-3 with very much changing. And in the middle of the park there will be Kutsia alongside Mukwena. Alenda will be pulling the strings, and Nku retains his starting berth for Sundowns.
The technical team and subs, the Mamelodi Sundowns, up off their seats. Just to give a hearty reception to the 11 that start today's game as we get a look at the officiating quartet led by Moreki Lekwape, getting his campaign off the ground, having served official duties a couple times already. He'll be assisted by Janchi Tlamini and Luyanda Nondala, Tukuzani Mkize, who hails from this province. In Ulundi, he's the 4th official today. So for coach Rulani Mukwena, his Sundowns side on a lengthy unbeaten run in the league. He personally has overseen 24 unbeaten matches since taking over as the sole head coach that is in the DSTV Premiership. It is the best ever run at the start of a tenure for any Mamelodi Sundowns coach in history, as the Brazilians salute the fairly healthy pocket of fans that are out on the far side here, and we await the kickoff at the Kings Vellatini Stadium. The first ever league meeting between these two came whilst the Natal Rich Boys were actually at the tail end of their post-promotion honeymoon as we get underway, and a Sundowns 2-0 win actually snapped what had been 9 matches unbeaten for the KZN side, who you'll recall, Stanton, started last season very well. The second meeting in the league between these two came in the midst of Richards Bay's horrific winless run, which has persisted since January, and in truth shows very few signs of ceasing just at the moment. It's stretched to 17 with the inability to get 3 points against Amazulu last time out.
And we spoke about that man, Nsondana, coming off the left. Just feel that he should be more central with that physical presence that he possesses.
Here is Justice Figueiredo for the hosts. Sanele Barnes, who missed the opening game of the season due to a suspension, trying to work something in from the flank. Now, Sianda Dlamini with an opportunity to toss it long, which he's done with a fair degree of success here, although it has strayed out. Samila Nsondwana frequently comes under criticism, I guess, for not best using the attributes at his disposal, many people seem to think. And if you do look at last season's contribution, of the 4 goals he scored, despite his immense stature and height, only one of those a headed effort. It came in a losing cause against Chippe United in May, a turning point for the Chile boys, who came back from 2 goals down to win 3-2.
I do think that it's not all the time criticism for Nsondwana. It's just that we see all this potential, and I think everybody just wants to get the best out of him.
Machola Allende keeps that alive for Mamelodi Sundowns via his head. Was the man of the match against Chippe United. This looks decent for the hosts, with Justice Figueiredo battling alone. launched over the top. It is taken care of by Mabua and then given away cheaply. Lesibenku just wide and might not have come down in time had it been between the two uprights. That's a fairly dreadful mistake from Tabani Dube, who perhaps hasn't had the best time of it since his return to the club after a spell at Kaizer Chiefs.
Well, you can see Mabua done extremely well, cool under pressure, and I think the weight of pass to Dube really put him under pressure and forced that misplaced pass. That gave Sundowns the opportunity. You don't want to have too many unforced errors when you're coming up against Sundowns.
Now Botoil has seized upon this and drives forward, finds Ribeiro, slightly loose for Allende. Mamelodi Sundowns is on hand to help out defensively. As Mokoena. Kutsia out to Grant Kekana, who's misplaced his pass upfield for Junior Mendieta. Well, last season, Grant Kekana had the best passing accuracy in the entire division of any player with 20 or more passes. As you can imagine, there are a few out there with 100% pass accuracy, having made 5 passes or so, but 770 passes over the course of the season at a rate of 92% accuracy for Grant Kekana. There were actually 4 Sundowns players in the top, or 3 Sundowns players in the top 4 best passes in terms of accuracy in the division.
Yeah, no, certainly shows his efficiency, Grant Kekana.
Asanele Barnes, thwarted by Mvala, but it's broken kindly here for Richards Bay. Flung out to Sundwana. He's taking on Kekana, does get a cross in. And they could conjure another opportunity here. They're eventually away. Mamelodi Sundowns not having it all their own way in these early stages. 5 minutes in, and Richards Bay have taken the game to them, which I think, Stanton, might be the correct juncture for me to pose a question to you. And perhaps a little unfair to say, how should Richards Bay best approach this? You haven't worked with them all week, you know, you don't know what some of their difficulties might have been. But if there were some basic ground rules, a blueprint to take on a Mamelodi Sundowns team, what would they have to implement?
They do exactly what they're doing now. You can see it's not a low block, it's nice and medium. It makes them compact, not too much space, because that's the last thing you want to do is give Mamelodi Sundowns space. So keep it compact, try not to concede early.
Now Justice Figueiredo, who does have bags of pace, had an opportunity to drive towards the byline and perhaps measure a better cross. There was almost a hint that he went for goal there with only Nsundwana waiting. It was miles away from his teammate.
You can see just a nice bent run there from Figueiredo, which allowed him to stay on side. Just momentarily, I think a bit of a miscue. Just took his eyes off the ball there, Figueiredo. Very exciting player. Nice and skillful as well. Possesses a lot of speed. See what he can conjure up on that right wing coming up against Botuel, Abdul Munaim.
Now Mendieta. Nicely steered through for Modiba Yende.
Most of the new recruits, Grant Maseko now injured. And a great start. And Ku, a brilliant start now. It's an opportunity for Mendieta to stamp his arrival on this Sundown side.
Yeah, plenty in the treatment room at the moment for Mamelodi Sundowns. That one was quite some way wide. But Rashid Daruk, Swisung Gubeni, Tabela Morena all out at the moment, as is Musa Lebusa, Kulisi Modal. Tabela Maseko, you already mentioned, Kulisi and Abubakar Nasir, who has been injured for the most part of his Sundowns career at the moment. Also the youngster Sianda Nyanga out, although Mamelodi Sundowns have another young academy product on the bench today, as this is slipped through for Lesibenku, jumps back inside. And excellent defending in the end from Thabani Dube, throwing his body to the ground to get in the way of that shot.
We just got to marvel at the composure showed here by Ribeiro, just checking his options, choosing to go to the right, and Nku brilliantly beating Mabua. And as you mentioned, what a save from Dube. Just trying to figure out how Sundowns are setting up. Looks like Ribeiro is more central, and just in and behind him, and sometimes joining him up front is Mendieta, and to his right will be Nku and Modiba operating on the left-hand side.
Here is Mendieta on the ball. Haven't really played an out-and-out striker for the past 2 games. Tweed, the Moroccan to Poho Mokoena. Rivaldo Kutsia. Patience shown from Mamelodi Sundowns. Vala. Here is Kekana, back to Ronan Williams. He's made 6 saves this season in the league, of 8 shots faced so far. Conceded in both their opening 2 games, against Kukuni and then against Kaizer Chiefs. But since then, 2 clean sheets in the league. There's Allende. Coup up ahead of him, tends to turn it in field more often than not. Mamelodi Sundowns seldom exploits the flanks.
You see Sundowns with the patient build-up. The minute Richards Bay decide to add a bit of pressure, that's when they find the spaces in midfield, and they can start to thread those passes through there. Butuil just getting caught from behind as Barnes chips in defensively.
Asanele Barnes will be important for Richards Bay. So often put in starring performances last season. Created 47 chances for the team over the course of the campaign as Ribeiro slides it through brilliantly. That is a simply exquisite Mamelodi Sundowns goal. Slip through for Mendieta, who is off the mark for his new club.
We asked the question, when will he stamp his authority on this starting lineup? He's been given an opportunity today. It's all smiles from the coach. A bit of a smirk there. Great combination play from Ribeiro. I did say they'll be playing alongside each other. It's an elegant touch from Ribeiro to Mendieta. Great movement. Nothing Magula could have done to keep that on.
And a clean sheet last time out against Amazulu, but facing Mamelodi Sundowns, an entirely different proposition. And the man who got into double figures goals and assists for Stellies last season is up and running for Downs.
That's the first touch from Mendieta to Ribeiro. He gets it back. That's the first touch. Patience showed again. Pass through the legs of Dube. And Mendieta makes no mistake.
Oh, you just think to yourself, how do Richards Bay come back from this? Ronan Williams off his line to clear. By the way, only once last season when Richards Bay conceded first did they come back and even get a point. Now Mamelodi Sundowns might pile on the misery as Ribeiro goes for goal with a rather tame effort that's into bodies. This is Kutsia. Only for a moment. Good running from Figueiredo. This is promising. Nsondwana steaming into the box, and it's behind. Kekana making the challenge. And as an added bonus, it's come back off Figueiredo, and it'll be a goal kick.
He said he's a speedy customer, isn't it? So working his way around Mbala, but just at the final point, couldn't complete the final pass, and it was Nsondwana on the far post just waiting to tap it in. Some good wing play from Figueiredo.
Well, it's a very deliberate change they've made, obviously, with the young man Mthembu now back on the bench, having had a pretty good outing against AmaZulu, despite the fact that he was recruited from the third tier. But in that kind of game, Richards Bay were hoping to match AmaZulu and play a bit. Now they want to exploit the pace of Figueiredo in a game like this, where they will see very little of the ball as Allende turns it on, and it's made its way through to Lesiba Nku now. Still Allende. Can't sneak the pass through. There's Kekana. Oh, he's bowled over by Langelihle Mhlongo. Well, Caetano Tembo across since a very long stint with SuperSport United, and comparatively shorter one with Skukune. As Ribeiro turns on the magic. Has met Mamelodi Sundowns 8 times in the league, 11 times overall. Just 1 win in 8 league meetings as a coach against Sundowns, 2 in 11. A greatest match for him probably would have been en route to the final of the 2019 MTN 8. They drew Sundowns in the semis. They drew 1-1 and won 2-0. Teboho Mokoena actually scored for SuperSport against Sundowns, and they went to the final that year. Went on to beat Highlands Park and win it. But other than that, he's had very little joy against Masandawana. Only league win that Caetano Tembo has overseen was as coach of SuperSport United back in the 2018-19 season. 2-0 victory for Matatsansa over Sundowns.
Yeah, opportunity here for Richards Bay. Sundowns have everybody back behind the ball.
Easily fended away. It's hoisted out to Sanele Barnes again, who couldn't keep it in. He's indicating that he didn't want it looped to him. Sanele Barnes last season for Richards Bay crossed in excess of 100 times over the course of the season, but his accuracy in that regard only about 14%. A little better when it came to taking players on. That's where he had his most success. 55% dribble accuracy for Sanele Barnes. That's where he really showed his qualities for Richards Bay last season.
And we can see completed passes there for Sundowns, almost 3 times the number that of Richards Bay, as well as the possession stats speak.
Richards Bay yet to muster an effort. Sundowns might manage another, not this time around. 50% shot accuracy from their 4 attempts so far for the visitors. No progress made down the left-hand flank. Allende to Mendieta. Lovely feet from the Argentinian. Gets it back again. Teboho Mokoena has it taken away from him. This is Mhlongo.
See, that's one of the traits that Sundowns have. The minute they lose possession, it's an immediate press to regain possession. Looks like he's enjoying himself there. Always a confidence builder when you get off the mark, especially for your new side early on in the game.
Well, only Mamelodi Sundowns and Stellenbosch in the league last season had 2 players in double figures in terms of goals, and they've grabbed one of Stelli's main hitmen by recruiting Mendieta.
And of the 8 goals that Sundowns scored in the league, 6 different scorers. That speaks to their strength in terms of where the goals are from, not reliant on only Peter Shalulile. Today's Figueiredo that's playing the top man, but it's Zwane that can do the same. Even Mendieta, as you mentioned, Gaunt. Mendieta played as top man, out-and-out striker for Stelli's a number of games last year as well.
Here is Mendieta. Allende's tried to free him. Sabu Mineka captains the side today. Injured for a large part of last season. Prior to that, he'd been almost ever present as they won the championship title. Back to Williams. Now it has been given away. A rare opportunity here for Richards Bay. Justice Figueiredo has it taken away from him.
That was Mendieta that kicked it against his own player. Which he'll very often now from a left back moves into midfield as well. It's a different shape that we're trying to figure out that Sundowns have introduced this season.
But they absolutely have to make the most of set-piece opportunities such as this. A fairly decent ball, and it's a wonderful save from Ronwen Williams to deny Dlamini.
What a brilliant delivery there from Barnes. And Dlamini up the near post, just ahead of Butwell, forcing Williams into a save.
So can they be as effective from the resultant corner? Not to be this time around. Well, Ronwen Williams isn't often called upon, shall we say, but when he is, he usually produces the goods. National team #1. Bafana Bafana no AFCON qualifiers in the upcoming FIFA break. They have already qualified. In the absence of Zimbabwe means they don't have a game to play on the last match day, as it's steered through here for Mendieta. Looks to drive it across and return the favor for Ribeiro, who is making tracks into the box. There's Williams, 2 friendly games, though, in the international break, by the way. They'll take on Namibia and the DRC. And he will likely be very familiar with his backline. In the preliminary squad also included his teammates Modiba, Vala, Kekana, operating a little in front of them, Mokoena as well. So
familiar.
Defensive structure is very familiar. Mabua to scramble to retrieve that. It's Dube. Decent ball in behind. Sundwana has been flagged for offside. Ronwen Williams got there first in any case.
Well, that was nicely picked up there from Dube. Sundwana tried to bend his run and stay on side. You could see it just started from an offside position.
29-year-old Leander Nundala making that call. Williams with a brilliant ball. And now Mamelodi Sundowns are on the move just like that. This is the Siba Nku taking his man on, rolling it into the danger area. And it's cleared away just ahead of Lucas Ribeiro.
Yeah, and that's what makes him so dangerous. Can cut inside onto the left foot Nku. But he can also do this brilliant ball played into space there from Modiba. But you see, he just slows it down, brings him to his space. And it's a step over and leaves him for dead.
Potui and Tupoho Mokoena, Vala. That's Kutsia, who found Modiba. He gave it away with a poor touch. There you can sense the displeasure from the home fans as Allende goes down and gets a free kick in his favor.
Coach not happy, but I do think that very little to argue about there.
Well, the last game that Caetano Tembo oversaw against Mamelodi Sundowns was for Skakuni United early last season. Was a 1-1 draw, and it was one of the only times, and it's certainly in the first half of the season before Sundowns took the foot off the pedal, but it was the first time that season that any team had come from behind to get a point off Sundowns, and that was under Caetano Tembo.
They work alongside Gavin Hunt, so that defensive stability possibly rubbed off for Caetano Tembo. Is this free kick a little bit too far to be testing Williams from that distance?
Well, the opening goal that he considered this season was a free kick, much closer in. Jamie Weber able to outfox him and place it in the bottom corner.
Yeah,
with a very cleverly assembled wall.
Yeah, brilliant free kick there from Weber. Very intelligent, expecting it over, but there was so much bodies and just curled it around the wall. No chance for Williams. It's going to have to be a spectacular one from as far out.
It will need to be special. And it's on target, but didn't have nearly enough to beat Ronwen Williams or even pose him any kind of challenge. Here's Kutsia. Back to Williams. A rare mistake from Ronwen Williams, not punished.
Yeah, not for the first time. Opening game of the season.
Yeah.
Ronald Williams against Sikakune. Very similar, tried to thread it through there. Just unsighted there from Barnes. With the weaker foot, couldn't steer that on target.
Well, this time Williams looks a little longer. Cool. It's a decent win from Tsundwana, who's got it back twice in quick succession. It's Mapua, who no longer has the Mamelodi Sundowns loanee, Siandem Sani, to tussle with for that spot on the left flank.
Yeah, let's see if they're going to try and start from the back again there. Confidence.
Now he's it hasn't stopped him from playing his normal game. He goes and he locates Modiba, and they're on the front foot of Sundowns. That's a fierce effort from Allende, but it is straight at Magula. Those are the openings they're trying to create. The risk and a balance between that and potentially great rewards.
Yeah, exactly that, risk and reward. Playing through those lines.
There's Kumane. It's a back. Scored from the penalty spots against Lamontville Golden Arrows, and what was their second league outing of the season. Was late into the game that he netted that goal. Arrows promptly went down the other side of the field and scored through Ngube to win. Good fighting. Oh, what's the referee said? Little tug, so a free kick for Mamelodi Sundowns. And just as was the case for Richards Bay not so long ago, it's not perhaps the easiest one to take on direct, but there are certainly players in the Mamelodi Sundowns ranks that have the ability to do so.
Definitely candidates. It's going to take something special to beat this man. We mentioned his exploits last season, very much the pillar of that brilliant start that Richards Bay had last season.
So it's just over 30 yards out from goal. It's been set up for Mokoena. Magula has it in his clutches. Now looking to free Justice Figueiredo. Kekana back to Williams, who finds his former SuperSport United teammate once again. And here's Ronald Williams squeezing it through for Butoil.
See that ball is so dangerous, but when you execute it properly, straight up to the midfield, you eliminate so many players.
Allende driving forward. Too much on that pass. That was looking to find Lucas Ribeiro. The punt forward from Magula. Mamelodi Sundowns currently have a 5-point gap at the top of the standings. They've played a game more than SuperSport United, who are in second. They could stretch their advantage to 8 points today, as we see how they have outpassed Richards Bay up to this point. There is another game coming up a little later on as Skakuni United try and accumulate some games with an African adventure on the horizon. They are away to Cape Town City today. So Cape Town City, who are down in 6th, have an opportunity to move to 9 points. So they could potentially cut the gap that Mamelodi Sundowns might open up. I say might, but many people will think it's a certainty given the fact that they already have a goal here.
Yeah, they're well on their way. Certainly well on their way.
Nicely done by Mokwena, at least initially. Then he gave Nku too much to do.
Nice defensive work there from Dube, evading the danger post from Nku. Hasn't had all the supply this evening. Once or twice, an opportunity to take on his defender. Other than that, supply has been few and far between for Nku.
Man has scored a brace in the 4-0 thumping of Lamont for Golden Arrows out at the Lucas Boripe Stadium. Clever link up. Mendieta, Ribeiro, and still he goes on, the Brazilian. It's a scuffed effort. Well, 2-2 to start his career. Mamelodi Sundowns scored in both the games he played against Skokuni and Kaizer Chiefs to open the season. He'd bagged a couple in pre-season out in the Netherlands as well, so they already knew he had really good goal-scoring pedigree before the campaign started.
And Ribeiro just getting better and better as he adapts to the speed of the South African game.
Now Samilun Sundwana has gone down rather worryingly for Richards Bay.
I think it was a pass where the attempted pass caught him flat in the face.
Relani Mokwena consulting with Ayenda, whose ability in English is growing week by week. He scooped the Man of the Match award against Chipper and gave a brief post-match interview. Now Mamelodi Sundowns fans, some of them have travelled far and wide when you see the branch flags here at the King Zwelithini Stadium. Sundwana still down, and it appears as though he will be stretchered off the park here. Here's a look at what transpired.
Yeah, that can be so painful, especially if it catches you on the ear.
Mamelodi Sundowns have so many options available to them, and the latest in their tool belt is this man Junior Mendieta. He's come off the bench a couple of times. Now he gets his first start in the colours of the Brazilians. He's the man who actually starts that intricate play with a glorious touch and then receives wonderfully well from Ribeiro to finish really neatly.
There's some brilliant awareness there from Mendieta. Could be possible concussion. He hit him on the side of the head, close to the temple.
Now, I mean, if you could explain for those out there, headering the ball would not be the same as having it kicked at you. You wouldn't necessarily be braced for it either, as the possible options for Richards Bay. Just scroll across the bottom of your screen there, as it doesn't appear likely that Sundowns will be able to continue. It does appear as though they were leading him towards the ambulance. Is he protesting? Does he want to try and continue here?
Yeah, I don't think he wants to. And he says, I'm okay. That's a good sign. I actually got concussion with a clearance and the ball hit me in the head. Woke up in hospital.
Wow.
Yeah, just confused for at least 30 minutes. And this is the test that they'll be running, asking him questions, just checking if he's aware of his surroundings.
So, they have prepared Sakile Hlongwa to come off the bench for him. A man whose goals helped promote Richards Bay 2 seasons ago. Struggled with injury last term and then was not really able to get up and running in a side that were very goal shy.
Substitution for Richards Bay Football Club.
Made almost an immediate impact last season upon his return, forcing an own goal against AmaZulu. Well, they kept the ball for a while now, Richards Bay, and it's been swung out wide. Can they manufacture from here? Composed defending from Tupoho Mokoena initially, and then given away as Modiba came lunging in. It's a low cross. Justice Figueiredo trying his best to get on the end of that. Playing with some real intensity here are Richards Bay. They have a free kick in a wonderful position.
Need
Potentially a last opportunity of this opening half for Richards Bay. Cross swung in from the right. Stooped to try and direct that header towards goal. Nothing to trouble Ronwen Williams this time around. They have retained possession though. They have looked dangerous from this flank. Promising again. Back to Kumani. Mabua. And Mabua goes for it. Decent hits from the fullback. Drifting just wide. Well, had a go. I guess worth a pop, but this point late in the opening half. Kwena under a bit of pressure. Back to Williams. Could see her. It is wonderful to see them play out of the back like this, living so dangerously, and they've escaped the press expertly. One last opportunity perhaps. Here's Ribeiro. Still he continues on. Still he goes on, and it's too heavy for Allende. So the referee signals the end of the first half. Mamelodi Sundowns in the lead, courtesy of Junior Mendieta's first goal for the club. And considering their dominance so far this season and all of the problems that Richards Bay have endured, Mamelodi Sundowns have fairly good prospects of stretching their winning start to 5 games in a row. Started the season with 12 points from 12, just the second time in the club's PSL history, and the last time was over a decade ago. They could, if they hang on to this advantage here, win their opening 5 games for the very first time in the club's PSL history. At the Kings Renatini Stadium, after 45 minutes, hosts Richards Bay have not been able to unlock Sundowns, who are up by 1-0.
If you like nice things at a nice price, you'll love Naso Meals. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Packed with endless entertainment. Spectacular prizes are up for grabs with Spinner Zonke's new prize drops. Simply spin for as little as R2 or more on designated pragmatic play games like Diamond Strike, where you enter the dazzling world of a diamond mine to uncover classic jackpot treasures. Spin every Tuesday and Thursday from 8:30 for a shot at R1 million worth of incredible prizes. Hollywood Bets, take a spin with us.
Think about it. Pick and Pay ASAP could change your life. You could shop without ever leaving home.
Thank you.
You could show your family some love.
He's my favorite son.
Mine too. You could drop a hint. Give your best mate some help. You could even help the world. The more you think about it, the more ASAP delivers. Download the app today.
Every match-defining moment is a step forward on the road to Berlin. The UEFA Euro qualifiers, live only on SuperSport.
Last box,
Thanks, Manu.
Fit your life
One last box.
Unbox something amazing. The large triple decker for the special price of $189.90. Debonair's Pizza. Try something amazing.
Hotard! You can feel the tension now.
Yes, our man Tabo over here has the opportunity of using cash out, one of the many thrilling offers that Betway gives you. But will he do it?
Look at the man. He's in total control.
Oh, and he's done it! He's hit the nail on the head! He's done it!
Oh yes, it's a shoe.
Just magical. The writing was on the wall and he read it like a classroom register.
Ah, shit.
Kunyana.
Apesu.
Nazo. If you like nice things at a nice price, you'll love Nazo meals. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
It's halftime at the Kings Wellington Stadium in the DStv Premiership. Richards Bay 0, Mamelodi Sundowns 1. After the first 45 minutes, Sundowns really dominant. Let me speak to Siyabonga Nkosi as well as Stanton Fredericks. Maybe let me start with you, Siya. Your impression of the first 45?
Very scintillating from Mamelodi Sundowns. I think the first half has been one-sided, even though Richards Bay have had a bit of a sniff at goal, but it's been dominant from Mamelodi Sundowns, purely based on the fact that they're denying them the ball. They can't cope with their mobility. Their play has intent, the good intensity also, even off the ball. Everything just looking good for them.
Stiga?
Yeah, I think I'm very impressed with up front Ribeiro, how he's playing in that central role, how his combination is with Mendieta, which leads to the goal. But he's disciplined in his movement, he's keeping his shape, and that gives Mamelodi an opportunity to use him as a reference point as well.
Okay, let's go straight to the highlights then. After the first 45 minutes, you had Siyabonga Nkosi, then Mamelodi Sundowns dominant, keeping the ball very well. Goalkeeper Magula comes out here. Look at the amount of work being put in by the Mamelodi Sundowns players, even right there on top.
Yeah, that's why you have to be very careful in that area when you're in possession, because that's where they're looking to hedge. That's the traps they set. They are quick to get in front of your face and try and minimize time. Is the fact that they haven't been reckless in playing the balls inside the center.
And then this goal, beautiful goal.
Yeah, they've been patient, but it's awareness from Mendieta. He understands that when he drops into that space, there will be Ribeiro. What a brilliant touch, and he continues his run. Ribeiro once again, but the pass from Ribeiro, it's not just a normal pass, it's through the legs. It's a time. That's because he takes his time to pick it out there.
That space that Mendieta eventually found behind them, he had to fashion it by drawing them closer, by dropping into that pocket and drawing the defense up so that the space opens behind him. That's how tricky Mamelodi Sundowns are in the final third.
They have the players then to play like this, even in the absence of Shalile, because that's what the technical team have had to do then, devise another strategy. Richards Bay have been threatening. I've been saying there's only one goal in it, really. They've shown some glimpses of very being offensive in that final third. No good end product, but they have a chance. There's only one goal in it.
Yeah, to be fair to them, they use Figueiredo's come into play to use his speed. He's used his speed in this situation. It's just a final ball. But they have managed to eke out opportunities, especially set plays. They're going to have to really make it count. Here's a brilliant one, brilliant delivery there from Barnes.
They need a better structure, especially when they break through behind the Sundowns defense, because a couple of balls have been played in the box, but they're not finding a man. It's because they are not structured properly in their runs into the box.
They give you these opportunities, though. With them trying to play out of the back, if you press, these mistakes will happen.
Yes, but you're going to have to take a risk. And that's what Richards Bay is going to have to do to get something here. They've managed to get numbers ahead. You could see Barnes just slowly trying to get it. But like, you've got to look at the confidence here. This is not the first time this happened from Ron Williams. And credit to Richards Bay. They've committed the men forward. They've taken the risk. But unfortunately, they didn't finish it. But Sundowns continues to play out the back.
Sundowns, then with a mild concussion there. Precautionary has been taken to the hospital. Initially, he resisted, saying, no, I don't want to go, but it was never going to be his decision. The medical team correctly saw, ruling that he has to be transported to the nearest hospital. Now, again here, Mamelodi Sundowns at first in the first half, they've really been scintillating. Look at them, then you'll see, even when they're getting out of that press, then Richards Bay does the right thing. You have to try, but look at this situation when they're coming out.
I mean, their system is very dynamic because the rotation, even in positions, especially between Rivaldo as well as Potoli at the back, it just makes it so difficult for you to press them in their own half. And the confidence also, because even if the structure is good, the confidence has to be there for you to want to get the ball in very tight areas and very difficult areas.
Just very quickly, another important fact is that the field is conducive for them to play from behind. So when they do the field walk in the beginning of the half, before the game starts, that is what they go and check. Can we play from the back? Is the field conducive?
Yeah.
You would have expected Robin Williams not to have much work to do, but you see the stats, he's had a couple of saves to make because Richards Bay have been able to get into that box and make that threat. But Sundowns totally dominating ball possession here at the King Zwelithini Stadium. Possible subs then, because you see Hlongwa has come on. He's a big man, he plays up front, he can threaten there with the space and his size, but Sundowns also can be thinking about making subs.
Most certainly, but as it looks, I think the coach would be happy with what he's seeing, but also he still has the likes of Obothemba Zwane on the bench. I mean, that luxury that you have, I mean, he could decide later on just to step it up a notch and bring on those players.
Yeah, just looking at Richards Bay, I think they were forced into that substitute, but I think that's a change that would have been made. I think Hlongwa will add to the physicality up front, and I think they need to just supply Figueiredo, maybe not any immediate subs for Richards Bay, but just encouragement to be more attacking.
It's all about the fan. Fan Days. It's an Fan Days which gives you an opportunity. If you're a supporter, you come to the ground dressed in the regalia of your favorite club. Well, if you're a DSTV Compact subscriber, you can double the price. The prize money is 100,000 rand, but if you're a DSTV Compact subscriber, you can double it to 200,000 rand. Fan Days. Look out for it.
Babihle bonke! The new season of the DSTV Premiership is here. And le Ayama fans, the best of Itiski, Uitifafa, with the best of local entertainment. And now, your loyalty to the game will be rewarded in cash. Introducing Fan Days, a new halftime special. To be part of the action, visit our activation zone at select Fan Days games. Sign up with one of our promoters, and you can stand a chance to win 100,000 Rand cash. Bona, if you are a compact subscriber or higher, we will double the moolah. But not so fast. To seal the deal, you'll have to take a penalty kick against one of the DSTV stars from your favorite shows. If Ushayinet, you secure the bag and are crowned Fan of the Match. So join us for Fan Days, and don't forget to wear your team colors to show your love. DSTV, the home of sport, the home of Itiski. The Samsung Blue Tax sale is back with up to 35% off on your favorite Samsung products, like the awesome Galaxy A24 for just 4499, or the Galaxy Tab A7 Lite LTE for the low price of 3499. Get the 55-inch S90C 4K TV for only 24999, or take home the RS64 side-by-side refrigerator with a 20-year digital inverter warranty for 21999. Shop online or at any participating retailers. For 21999. Shop online or at any participating retailers.
It's time to have a wars with every breath you take. It's time to look like 9 provinces, 11 languages, a bashu and a blanket. This Heritage Month, we are going full South African with everyday low prices at game. Like the Samsung Galaxy A14 smartphone for 3299, or the Samsung 58-inch Crystal Smart TV for 7999, or the Eiger Area 4-liter mechanical air fryer for 899 Rand. Cause game's got you, and you've got game.
Stay connected and never miss a moment of unimaginable excellence.
Welcome to the grand gallery of the beautiful game. It's where destiny scribes a new name. Upgrade and don't miss a single moment of the greatest in European football. Only on DSTV, the home of football.
Spinner Winner from World Sports Betting brings the excitement of Vegas to your doorstep. Choose from hundreds of games. Enjoy special bonus rounds, special features, free spins, and so much more. Win up to 10 million Rand per spin. Join the action at WSB.coza. World Sports Betting, your one-stop gaming destination.
While we ensure this, and all of this, we love it most when you do this, and this. And even though we've had the fewest complaints referred to the Ombudsman for short-term insurance for the last 10 years, and have received a bunch of accolades to boot, we'll never stop to make sure we see
everything just looking good for them.
Stiga?
Yeah, I think I'm very impressed with up front Ribeiro, how he's playing in that central role, how his combination is with Mendieta, which leads to the goal. But he's disciplined in his movement, he's keeping his shape, and that gives Mamelodi an opportunity to use him as a reference point as well.
Okay, let's go straight to the highlights then. After the first 45 minutes, you heard Siyabonga Nkosi, then Mamelodi Sundowns dominant, keeping the ball very well. Goalkeeper Magula comes out here. Look at the amount of work being put in by the Mamelodi Sundowns players, even right there on top.
Yeah, that's why you have to be very careful in that area when you're in possession, because that's where they're looking to hedge. That's the traps they set. They are quick to get in front of your face and try and minimize time. Is the fact that they haven't been reckless in playing the balls inside the center.
And then this goal, beautiful goal.
Yeah, they've been patient, but it's awareness from Mendieta. He understands that when he drops into that space, there will be Ribeiro. What a brilliant touch, and he continues his run. Ribeiro once again, but the pass from Ribeiro, it's not just a normal pass, it's through the legs. It's a time. That's because he takes his time to pick it out there.
That space that Mendieta eventually found behind them, he had to fashion it by drawing them closer, by dropping into that pocket and drawing the defense up so that the space opens behind him. That's how tricky Mamelodi Sundowns are in the final third.
They have the players then to play like this, even in the absence of Shalile, because that's what the technical team have had to do then, devise another strategy. Richards Bay have been threatening. I've been saying there's only one goal in it, really. They've shown some glimpses of very being offensive in that final third. No good end product, but they have a chance. There's only one goal in it.
Yeah, to be fair to them, they use Figueiredo's come into play to use his speed. He's used his speed in this situation. It's just a final ball. But they have managed to eke out opportunities, especially set plays. They're going to have to really make it count. Here's a brilliant one, brilliant delivery there from Barnes.
Yeah, they need a better structure, especially when they break through behind the Sundowns defense, because a couple of balls have been played in the box, but they're not finding a man. It's because they are not structured properly in their runs into the box.
They give you these opportunities, though. With them trying to play out of the back, if you press, these mistakes will happen.
Yes, but you're going to have to take a risk. And that's what Richards Bay is going to have to do to get something here. They've managed to get numbers ahead. You can see Barnes just slowly trying to get it. But like, you've got to look at the confidence here. This is not the first time this happened from Ron Williams. And credit to Richards Bay. They've committed the men forward. They've taken the risk. But unfortunately, they didn't finish it. But Sundowns continues to play out the back.
Nsundwana then with a mild concussion there. Precautionary has been taken to the hospital. Initially he resisted, saying no, I don't want to go, but it was never going to be his decision. The medical team correctly saw a ruling that he has to be transported to the nearest hospital. Now again here, Mamelodi Sundowns at first in the first half, they've really been scintillating. Look at them then, you'll see, even when they're getting out of that press, then Richards Bay does the right thing. You have to try, but look at this situation when they're coming out.
I mean, their system is very dynamic because the rotation, even in positions, especially between Rivaldo as well as Potoli at the back. It just makes it so difficult for you to press them in their own half, and the confidence also, because even if the structure is good, the confidence has to be there for you to want to get the ball in very tight areas and very difficult areas.
Just very quickly, another important fact is that the field is conducive for them to play from behind. So when they do the field walk in the beginning of the half, before the game starts, that is what they go and check. Can we play from the back? Is the field conducive?
Yeah.
You would have expected Robin Williams not to have much work to do, but you see the stats, he's had a couple of saves to make because Richards Bay have been able to get into that box and make that threat. But Sundowns totally dominating ball possession here at the King Zwelithini Stadium. Possible subs then, because you see Hlongwa has come on. He's a big man, he plays up front, he can threaten there with the space and his size, but Sundowns also can be thinking about making subs.
Most certainly, but as it looks, I think the coach would be happy with what he's seeing, but also he still has the likes of Obothemba Zwane on the bench. I mean, that luxury that you have, I mean, he could decide later on just to step it up a notch and bring on those players.
Yeah, just looking at Richards Bay, I think they were forced into that substitute, but I think that's a change that would have been made. I think Hlongwa will add to the physicality up front, and I think they need to just supply Figueiredo, maybe not any immediate subs for Richards Bay, but just encouragement to be more attacking.
It's all about the fan. Fan Days. It's an Fan Days which gives you an opportunity. If you're a supporter, you come to the ground dressed in the regalia of your favorite club. Well, if you're a DSTV Compact subscriber, you can double the price. The prize money is 100,000 rand, but if you're a DSTV Compact subscriber, you can double it to 200,000 rand. Fan Days. Look out for it.
Under no pressure, Kutsia. Dube gets his head on it. Mendieta receiving from Mokoena. Tabo Mokoena is so alert. Just nipped in, spotted the loose ball before anyone else. Now, Ribeiro and Nku flicking it over the top for the Brazilian. Comes down for Modiba. And can't control the return. Kusumusi Vilakazi is watching on. His side have already been handily defeated by Mamelodi Sundowns this season. Below him,
you think he'll be eavesdropping on the notes that Trot Malota is making there?
Yes, Mvada. Williams. Oh, Modiba has turned wonderfully well, and still he continues on. Aubrey Modiba has space to shoot. Magula down low.
Yeah, had a few options there, but nothing wrong with taking a shot there from Aubrey Modiba. That's one of the ways that Sundowns escape the high press. When Richards Bay commitment forward, there's that space just in behind the defense that Sundowns then play the direct ball into, where Modiba just created that opportunity.
Here's ball cut out. Here's Hlongwa. trying to hold his run. And now Mokoena puts it across. Oh, that should have been to Lesibenku.
That's excellent work there from Ribeiro, showing patience. It's Mokoena that went forward. Lovely ball played Nku. It took like just a small bubble just before he made contact. It's thumbs up from Madiba.
I love the work from Teboho Mokoena because Ribeiro was holding on to the ball. Mendieta was trying to just stay on side whilst he could negotiate his feet to actually get the pass away. And Mokoena provided him with an easier option in terms of feeding him and getting forward. The previous meeting between these two sides came in April of this year. It was very tight. Then it was a goal from Tapelo Morena that separated the two teams. The opening game between them, the first ever Premiership game between them, was decided with a lovely cute finish from Cassius Mailula, who's since departed, and Ashim Domingo got the second. That was when both teams were in fairly good form. They actually met 3 times last season. Also came up against each other in the Nedbank Cup. Fairly competitive match, that one. Richards Bay drawing level after Peter Shelalile had opened the scoring. Then Mamelodi Sundowns raced into a 3-1 lead. Makateng made it 3-2 late on. Rather nervy finish for Mamelodi Sundowns. So Richards Bay have scored against Sundowns, but never in a league meeting. Lovely style from the Brazilian.
Turning on the style and giving it a solid shoulder from Ribeiro, showing his strength.
Was only playing in the second division of Belgian football, the Challenger League, last season, but they spotted something they really liked from him. He managed 11 goals and 8 assists. Oh, Mendieta has it in space. He's flicked it through cleverly here for Allende. He is eventually dispossessed, and Mhlongo will hack it clear. Up against Mvala, holds him off for the time being.
Allows the rest of the side just to get in behind the ball.
Headed clear by Botoil. And Mhlongo anticipating a run from Sanele Barnes, apologizes for playing it with Barnes still on his heels. Sanele Barnes last season was joint 6th on the list of players who created the most chances from open play. 31 in total, actually tied in that particular category. Chances created from open play with Monapule Saleng. Was man of the match last time out against AmaZulu, so comes into the game in fairly good form.
Yeah, and when he's in the side, it certainly gives them that extra edge, especially operating down the right-hand flank is Sanele Barnes.
Allende to Mendieta. Lovely sliding challenge. Kutsia, who this season has an unbelievable pass accuracy. I'd love to look at it at the end of this game, but came into the game with a pass accuracy of better than 95% from over 200 passes. Collectively, Mamelodi Sundowns have completed just shy of 400 passes in this game so far. Maybe a little below their usual pass accuracy.
Yeah, but still half an hour to go, so yeah, just very patient, managing the result, managing the game, slowly getting at their opponents, because when you're not in possession, you're working so much harder. And that's Richards Bay for you.
Now the ball is given away. Very light on numbers are Richards Bay. Mamelodi Sundowns get plenty of bodies back in a hurry, but it's a real opportunity. Well-timed tackle. Oh, that was excellently done from Modiba.
Yeah, still unfazed. Patient build-up. Just trying to draw Richards Bay out so they can then exploit that spaces there that Modiba just received the ball in.
Mamelodi Sundowns victories in both their 2 away games so far this season. Last season actually won 7 away games straight after a defeat to SuperSport United very early in the season, but they drew 4 towards the end of last season. It was the first time going 4 away games in a row without a victory since 2014 as Justice Figueiredo takes on Kutsia. Figueiredo with a really tame effort. What has the referee seen there that he deemed to be some kind of indiscretion from Ribeiro?
So unable to just influence this game, often isolated and outnumbered.
Oh, it's a lovely steal. It's absolutely brilliant from Mendieta, and he's riding the challenge here. Does well to try and keep his feet going, showing pretty good honesty, not going down. Well won by Botoil.
With a bit of a heavy pass there after he won that possession.
Longo was in pursuit of that thumped ball forward and won it illegally, according to the first assistant, Judge Dlamini.
Substitution for Richards Bay. Number 18.
So Richards Bay looking to make a change here.
And then
and Mia, who has perhaps not been
number 21,
particularly effectual over the course of this game, is replaced. Letia Kwapeng is on, as well as Bandile Ndlovu, coming off the bench for a 3rd time, having made cameos against AmaZulu and SuperSport United. Mamelodi Sundowns have breached the 400 mark in terms of passes completed. Possession after the interval, 62% in favour of Mamelodi Sundowns. But in terms of their possession this season, it's just a little below their usual mark. They came into this game after 4 league games played with their average possession just under 69% for the season.
The crowd not happy with that call, but that was certainly Ndlovu coming through on Allende.
Williams